I must have known you, John, for nearly 40 years.
Yeah, I think it probably is.
Which
maybe more.
Can't be long after you first came to Leeds to put bands on.
Well, I came to Leeds actually in the late 60s. I started putting bands on in Leeds in February 1977.
Whereabouts?
Grand Theatre. I started big.
And from there you moved to... Did you go to the International Club?
We went to the International Club or the Phoenix
Saw
Club.
Ginger Baker there.
Whatever, yeah. And Jimi Hendrix played there.
Yeah, I remember, yeah.
Solo,
Well, I don't remember it, but
yeah, he played there.
I know he played there.
In 67. Yeah, I moved it there, you know. The first gig was Magazine with Howard Devoto, just left the Buzzcocks. And I moved it to Brannigan's and started off with bands like Human League and Damned. They all played there.
I seem to remember, I might be wrong on this, but you had Selector Specials of Madness on one night.
For the specials, Elvis Costello rang me up.
Yeah.
And he wanted to see the specials.
Yeah.
I think he wanted to sign him to Stiff or something.
Yeah.
And he said, can I come down? I'm at the Queen's, I'm going to have a shower shave and I'll be right down. That was his actual words. And he came down all dressed in a red Ted suit with black velvet linings and his specs and his hairbrush back. Yeah. And nobody spoke to him for about an hour.
I remember somebody saying
they thought
Elvis
it was
Costello
some kid trying to look like Elvis Costello.
Then it was Futurama, wasn't it, 79?
The thing about that was that I had a steady audience for all the alternative bands.
Yeah.
And I thought, I can put these all together in a festival.
Yeah.
All I need is, you know, 2 good headlines to draw them in. And I always, because the working title was the world's first science fiction music festival, and I was going to have loads of stalls and films, and I thought it's a bit unwieldy, so that's when I changed it to Futurama.
Yeah, you had a lot of bands that became quite big on the first one. Well, you too.
Well, the thing is, but they were all on 100 quid, you know, they were never heard of then. U2 had just brought out 11 O'Clock TikTok, I think was the first single, Before I Will Follow. And it was one of their earlier gigs, and most of the bands on that, Echo and the Bunnymen, Teardrop Explodes.
Who headlined that?
Joy Division were on, The Fall were on.
Yeah, I
remember, and nobody had heard of them at that time.
And then one year went to, I remember going up to Bingley Hall in Stafford with you.
Yeah. Simple Minds headline that.
Yeah.
Bauhaus, Theatre of Hate.
Because I remember sleeping in one of the band's tour buses.
Well, the thing is, I had to move it to the Bingley Hall in Stafford because the second Futurama was really successful. I went on holiday to Mallorca, and when I came back, John Curd, London promoter, Straight Music, had booked the September at the Queen's Hall, and for his rip-off festival called Days of Future Past. You know, the same thing, using some of the same acts.
John Curd, I've worked with him a few times,
I just thought, bloody hell. Well, I'm not going to give it up. So I promoted, I found the Bingley Hall in Stafford, and I got the bill together and put it on there. And the following year, I put it on at the D-Side Leisure Centre.
I mean, ever since I've known you, like you're saying John Curd putting on the thing at the Queen's Hall, whatever you do, somebody else always comes along and tries to push you out of the way and do it themselves.
Yeah, I've heard
everywhere.
Promoters saying,
Duchess, everything.
I'm going to put the final nail in John Keenan's coffin, but I'm still here, and a lot of them are not here. You know?
But then if it wasn't for you doing that in the first place, they probably wouldn't have been doing it.
But the thing is, they haven't got the heart or the enthusiasm for it. I mean, I've always been into it. I'm just
just like music.
Yeah, I just love music, and I love putting shows on, getting it all together. It's much like a chef. You know, you can have the same ingredients, or you can give the same ingredients to half a dozen people,
and they'll come up with something different.
And they'll all come up with something different. Some won't even manage to get it to rise or whatever because their timing's all wrong, and some come up and with the fully finished product. But I think my posters have a certain style. People can look at them and say,
well, they know they're
that's
yours.
one of John Keenan's posters, but they're not brilliant, but they do the job. And that was the whole thing.
I know your posters, it's always the wrong size.
Yeah, but that was the whole thing about punk. I did try to do them differently, so they would stand out.
Yeah.
You know, if you see something that's hand done and just written in a music shop, and there's glossy record company posters,
you're going to read the
handwritten one stands out, and that's what I've always worked on.
Because it's not commercial, is it? It looks more.
Well, I used to do them in my lunchtime at YTV. I used to just do them with anything, standard biros, whatever, and I'd just write, and some would come out better than others. It just shows like free expression, you know, if you're doing that. And I know it looks naff, but people notice it when it's like that.
Yeah, moving up to date, where is it now? It's Brood now, isn't it? You don't seem to do as many as you used to do.
No, well, I'm old. I'm 70 this year.
It's still all up there, though.
Yeah, it's still. I can still do it, but things have moved on.